Gentleman from the Northern Mariana Islands, Mr. Sablan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses. I apologize, I'm jumping between two committee hearings. So I am going to just go out and ask a question for Miss Cow. Miss Cow, please. Miss Cow, your organization wrote about two conversion transactions, the Nonprofit Center for Excellence in Higher Education's purchase of four for-profit colleges owned by Carl Barney, and the nonprofit Everglades College's purchase of the for-profit Kaiser University, which involved the college's former owner donating part of the college sale price to the nonprofit purchaser, enabling them to take hundreds of millions in tax deductions. GAO also mentioned the phenomenon of former owners donating part of their college sale price back to the college. How do you interpret these potential charitable donations from the goodness of their heart? Are they truly charitable? Are they truly from the goodness of their heart?
Thank you for your question. I want to take a good close look at some of these charitable donations when for-profit schools convert to nonprofit status, because the schools that you identified come with some real concerns. CHE, the Center for Excellence in Higher Education, the individuals who were the insiders who benefited the most from those conversions were recently found personally liable for operating years of systemic fraud against both students and the Title IV system, drawing down student revenue while misrepresenting to them the benefits that they would get from it, misrepresenting the amount of tuition, the likelihood of success, and whether or not the programs would ever lead to gainful employment in their fields of study. That type of behavior is indicative of the predatory nature of those institutions, as is the way that those conversions were structured. So I want to take a look at the way that those conversions were structured, because it was a very similar situation in both the CEHE and Kaiser instances. You had a conversion that allowed the insider to continue extracting resources through two primary mechanisms: ongoing rent payments and ongoing loan payments. So you have an institution that remains in debt to its former boss, who continues to hold the reins on the institution by being able to guide decision-making through these two contracts that puts the nonprofit at a huge disadvantage. As for the purported donations, they are donations of intangible benefits. So to take one of the examples in the Kaiser University example, the original purchase price was 90% intangible assets, which the Department of Education does not permit institutions to report on their audited financial statements. So you have about $60 million of real tangible assets, and you have a nonprofit promising to pay $600 million for it. Of course, some of that $600 million gets donated for a tax credit, but you still have a nonprofit being obligated to pay through an ongoing debt obligation significantly more than the value of the real assets that they are obtaining.
So after they cheated two parties, they had to just might as well make it three then. Let's short change the American taxpayer in terms of avoiding taxes. Mr. Director Emery Us,
Yes.
Emery Eras.
Yes.
Director, can you tell me about how the value of the for-profit college was determined in the cases the GAO reviewed where the transaction involved insiders? Was it based mostly on tangible assets like cash, investment, and property? And how does this compare to some of the conversions you looked at that didn't involve insiders?
Yeah.
Half a minute.
So for our case studies, we found that those with insiders purchased mostly intangible assets. So goodwill, brand name, accreditation, things you can't touch. It's not money in the bank, it's not property. And in contrast, when we looked at 5 randomly selected conversions without insiders, they mostly purchased tangibles, things that you could touch, cash, investments, property. So there is a real difference there.
Thank you. And thank the witnesses today. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Gentleman from Idaho.